Hello and welcome back. In celebrating World Cancer Day, tens of doctors in Solo, Central Java took to the streets in a bid to spread awareness on cancer. Pamphlets and posters were given to passerbys on this illness that still claims millions of lives every year.
Tens of doctors from the Dr. Miranty General Hospital and other cancer advocates conducted cancer awareness spreading activities on World Cancer Day, which falls on February the 4th. Participants spread pamphlets, posters, and chocolate stickers to pedestrians and passers-by along the Slamet Riyadi Road. The activities were done to spread awareness on the dangers of cancer and introduce methods of cancer prevention. Data from the World Health Organization states that in 2012, there were around 14.1 million new cancer cases around the world. Meanwhile, in 2012, 8.2 million people died from cancer. In Indonesia, in 2013, there were around 340,000 new cancer cases, with the highest number of sufferers in Central Java. Meanwhile, cervical cancer is the most common form of cancer suffered in Indonesia, as there are 15,000 new cases of cervical cancer every year.
Now, the theme of World Cancer Day in 2016-2018 is We Can, I Can, now which are both welcome and vital. A cancer survivor shares her story and how she is surrounded by the closest persons along her cancer treatment.
As a career woman, Miranty Abidin, an Indonesian senior public relations expert, is always maintaining a healthy life, not only for herself but also for her family. This energetic woman admitted that she was shocked when a Singaporean oncologist said that her one and only daughter, Indira, was positively diagnosed with breast cancer. This was in 2012. Even though her family inherited cancer genetically, her cousin and her aunt both died of cancer, but the news turned her world upside down.
And you know, the way she talked to me is just very light, yeah? And then Indira said, please mom, don't cry, because if you cry, then I will feel very sad. I will try to fight this cancer. I will try to very hard to fight. But if should it not successful, we have to accept it, because still it is the best thing that is given by God to me.
Instead of conventional cancer treatment, Indira, who is now 46 years old, preferred herbal treatment to the chemotherapy. On January 2013, she met with Dr. Warsito, who introduced her with an electrocapacitative cancer therapy, or ECCT.
The idea of wearing Dr. Warsito's jacket came into my mind, and I decided, okay, I'm going to take this. And then so we went to Dr. Warsito's place in Tangerang, and I met Dr. Warsito personally, and then he explained about what I'm going to experience about the treatment and everything, and that this is still a research.
This unconventional therapy suggested the patients to wear an anti-cancer electric jacket, blanket, and also helmet, depending on the cancer level. When Indira visited Dr. Warsito's clinic, her breast cancer was in stadium 2B.
In October 2013, we found out that the cell activity was at 30%. That means it was not malignant anymore, according to Dr. Warsito's method. And then I think it was in April 2014 that it was stated as only 10%, and this is not a cancer cell anymore. And then so I confirmed with a thermography check, and then also the thermography result said that it's not malignancy anymore.
Now she's still wearing Dr. Warsito's anti-cancer electric jacket and keep consuming selected healthy food and drinks in order to lowering her cancer stage. Last year, she established Lavender Foundation, which members has reached 500 cancer survivors all around Indonesia.
And to talk with us on this day, on World Cancer Day, we have with us Ibu Indira Abidin, the founder of Cancer Support Lavender Ribbon Foundation and a breast cancer survivor. Welcome, Ibu.
Thank you.
So now in 2012, there, if I'm not mistaken, there were 14.1 million new cancer cases. What are the figures looking like in 2015?
So now it was stated that there are 4.3 cancer patients for every 1,000 citizens in Indonesia. So that's pretty high. And Indonesia only has cancer facilities that can serve 15% of the people, of all cancer patients. So we have to really, really pay attention to that.
So we're really overwhelmed actually. And what have the government been doing to sort of solve this issue instead of to help?
I hope they are actually educating more oncologists and also adding up more infrastructure. They're actually adding up the budget on health for this year. Starting this year, we're going to have 5% of the budget for health. Yeah.
And what is the most common cause of cancer, you might say? We know there's a lot of people that smokes in Indonesia, but what's the #1 case?
I think stress. Because now the world is actually making us working more and then think more, and the competition really, really stressed us. And we are losing contact with our own body. We really, really need to have our body, mind, and soul in balance, and that is actually what we lose right now. When we think only of works, of only competition, we actually forget that we have to take care of our own body, mind, and soul. And so that is actually how I choose to treat myself.
Right, and you were telling me before the interview, actually, you were a cancer survivor. And do tell us more, again, about that experience.
Okay, so in 2012, November, I was diagnosed with cancer. And I took that as a blessing. So I think that's also one part of the strength that I actually I was blessed with. So I thank God, and then I thought it's actually a blessing that I really, really need to be thankful for. And then I promised God to find a way to treat myself in an affordable way, easy way, and that everyone can follow. And so that's how I think how God led me to this jacket.
Before this jacket, let's talk about your foundation again. What is this foundation of yours, and what is its goal?
Okay, so right after I was diagnosed, I wrote a blog. Yeah. And then in that blog, I shared about how happy I was to have cancer, and how we can thank God for giving us cancer. And then somehow, some way, I learned that there were so many people who read that and got inspired because of reading that. And it has even helped someone to cancel her suicide plan. And then so I decided to establish this Lavender Ribbon Cancer Support Group. Okay. And so I and Nita, my friend, established that. And then we created this group so that everyone can share their stories, and then they can help each other.
And in this group, you sort of coach these cancer people that having cancer. But what are these methods? And I also read that one of these people that you were coaching, they almost committed suicide. So how tough is it?
It's really tough. It's really tough because you know, my friends, they have been going under chemo, operations, radiation. Some even went for 20 or 30 cycles of chemo or radiotherapy sessions. And one session costed them like 50 million. That's very, very expensive. And then they said, I just wanted to die, and then because I don't want to be a burden for my parents anymore or my family anymore.
But that wasn't in your case. That wasn't what happened. What happened in your case?
I was very happy because right after the doctor in Singapore told me that it looks very dangerous and it could be cancer. So I returned to my hotel, and then I prayed, and then I asked God, okay, now what is it that you're giving me? And then somehow I had a conversation. It's a self-coaching thing. And so I remembered about Helen Keller, and she was great because she was blind. And I thought about Nick Vujicic, and he was great because he had no arms and no feet. Yeah. And then so maybe this is why God is giving me cancer, because he wants me to inspire the world. And so that's what I did.
But the methods that you took to sort of cure yourself was not through traditional mainstream ways. How were you able to heal?
So I met Dr. Warsito, as I mentioned before, and then so he gave me this. This is actually the second jacket that he gave me.
And what is this jacket again? Please tell us.
So this is ECCT, is electrocapacitance cancer therapy. Okay. And so it has electrical waves that actually kill cancer cells when it was duplicating. Okay. And so this is what I wore, and then it's
for how long?
For 1.5 years. Now actually I'm supposed to still wearing it.
Oh,
Yes.
but you're not because...
Because I found myself to be stable, and then I became vegetarian, and I drank all these healthy herbals and food, and I took alkaline diet, and so I think I became stable in that way.
But this jacket is not through conventional ways,
No.
is that right? And,
No.
and what are the Indonesian people thinking? What do they think about this jacket itself? If it's not mainstream, there may be side effects and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, you know, it's cancer. And as I have stated before that Indonesian centers, cancer centers can only help or serve 15% of all cancer patients. And so we are left with no choice but to find something which is not conventional. Some of us would love to go for the conventional methods, but they just can't. And some even had their doctors saying that, you know, we cannot really treat you anymore. But this method can help them as their last choice, their last hopes. So we're actually giving hopes for no hopes.
And the theme for cancer now is We Can, I Can.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
So I think We Can, I Can is a message that I also want to convey personally that, okay, God is giving us cancer, but it's not the end of the world. We can face it, and we can take it as a blessing. We can take it as a gift. So now think, why God, who is loving you all the way, who loves you even more than your mother, is giving you that? There must be something. There must be a reason why He's giving you that. So be thankful.
What about awareness, Ibu? We know that some people might not know anything about cancer. What's the government doing sort of to help spread awareness about cancer in Indonesia?
Yeah, they do a lot of education, but I think we have to do more. I think we as cancer patients who have been there, done that, we have to be there and help others because we are the best people to do that. Because we experienced that ourselves.
Indira, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. After this, a Hard Rock Cafe celebrates its 45th birthday with a memorabilia exhibit, bringing out iconic costumes and accessories for musicians through the decades.